All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is June 10th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you, all the members that are paying subscribers. Thank you. Appreciate your subscriptions, your patronage to the BYOB services. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land. Thank you for subscribing, thumbs up, following, all of that. Kind words, love it all. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look at some charts today. All right, SPY, we got 10-minute chart. We've got a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. On the 2-hour chart, 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Daily chart. Looking like, let's see what the low is here. The low is 598.49. The low here is 598.30. Okay, so we got an outside day. We got a lower low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the rising 17. This is bullish. If you take a look at this on the scratch, actually take a look at it right here. And not that one, this one. So price action up over the uptrend line. Okay, price action up here in the upper quadrants. This is quadrant 4. Closing over the trap over the 17. That's bullish. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. We're very close to the all-time high up here. I am looking for price to probably consolidate, okay, up here in this channel. All right, probably come back in this and up and then back and up and then eventually make a rip out of there, okay? So I'm looking for this to consolidate over prior consolidation. That's what I'm looking to happen. It may just continue on. I don't know what it's going to do. The market's hot. I don't know if they're going to consolidate it some more up over here while they're waiting for maybe negotiations, trade negotiations to finish up. We'll see what happens, all right? So there's SPY on the daily chart. I'm looking for price action to waffle back and forth through here and consolidate on top of prior consolidation. We'll see what happens, okay? But that's what I'm expecting. All right, so you got price action making higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. All right, you got price over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, what I like is 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. All right, I like them inside of 2-hour uptrends that are inside of daily uptrends, that are inside of weekly candles that are moving up, inside of monthly uptrends, okay? So we got, right now, we have a recipe for that, okay? We've got 2-hour uptrends, all right? We've got a daily uptrend. We've got weekly candles that are moving up, not down. We're in a downtrend because we haven't made a higher high, but we got weekly candles that are not moving down, they're moving up. All right, we got a monthly uptrend, okay? Price action failed to make a lower low. So it's a monthly uptrend right here. So we got a monthly uptrend. We got a weekly downtrend, but the candles are moving up. All right, we got a daily uptrend. Notice the trap over the 17. That's bullish. And we got 2-hour uptrend, okay? Notice the trap over the 17. That's bullish. All right, so I like those 10-minute uptrends inside there. So what do we have today? Had a 10-minute uptrend right through here. Okay, quick flash down and then resumed another 10-minute uptrend up there. Come back to VWAP one more time, had another 10-minute uptrend over there and another bounce right there. Okay, so there's SPY on the 10-minute chart. Okay, 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. That's what I like. All right, so there's SPY. We traded 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. How did I do today? Well, I got trapped into some 0 DTEs for a little bit, and I managed to ink out some losses. All right, so let's see what I got for today. All right, I got a lot of gains in some other stuff, but this one cost me a lot. I got too big, too fast, forgot what size count I had, and lost track of it, found myself underwater. All right, so we had 3 3 days till expiration, 620 calls. All right, those made 1844 on those. 0 days till expiration, 602 calls, made 1319 on those. Let's push this up so you can see how it traded. Okay, so this is the first one. 620 calls, buy the low, sell the high. Okay, we've got 0 DTE, 602 strike calls. Again, buy the low, sell the rallies. All right, 604 calls, 1 DTE, 572 on those. Buy the dips, sell the rallies. Okay, 610 calls, 3 days till expiration, $204 on those. Buy the dips, sell into the rallies up here. Buy the dip, sell into the rally. Okay, 17 DTE, 620 calls, $45. Sell the rallies, buy the dips. Okay, 635, 38 days till expiration. All right, made 26 on those. Sell the rallies, buy the dips. Same thing on these. 20 days till expiration, 625 calls. Sell the rallies, buy the dips. 630 calls, 31 days till expiration. Okay, $25 on those. Sell the rallies, buy the dips. Again, one more. 625 calls, $13 on those. Sell the rallies, buy the dips. And we got 625 calls, 10 days till expiration. Lost $10 on those. Had to get out of those because I was underwater on one of my positions. And we got 695 puts. I saw this big candle down. I thought for sure there's going to be an H pattern rollover. I got duped and I lost 2,318 on that. Okay, then I got too big, too fast on these 604 calls, and I lost 16,000 on those. All right, so not a good day for those. I got too big, too fast on those, and it cost me money. So that was not good. Had a lot of uptrends that I did manage to ink out some gains, but the gains did not seem to wash out all of the losses there. So there's price action on SPY. Okay, that's bullish. Okay, price action up in quadrant 4. Okay, if we look at this, you're up here. Oh, here's my resistance lines right here. Okay, 605.69 is my next one. All right, so you can see price action with the quad lines. Let's try this one right there on a daily chart. Yeah, right there. Okay, so we're up over the uptrend line. Okay, outside day, lower low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, we got all that. Those 2-hour uptrend, inside the daily uptrend, inside a weekly candles that are moving up, inside of a monthly uptrend, all of that, and that 10-minute uptrend over VWAP, all of that, all over this all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, so like I said, I'm looking for price action to probably consolidate between that 605 number, 605.69, and price action here at 593.20. So probably wiggle around and consolidate on top of prior consolidation. So there's SPY. Nice bullish day for today. Let's take a look at QQQ. All right, on QQQ you can see got a I'm going to call it an outside day. Lower low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17, over the uptrend line, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, open quadrant 4, making higher lows, higher highs. That's bullish. Moving up, holding that higher ground. That's bullish. A lot of these indexes are very close to tapping out new highs. Look how close QQQ is to the all-time high. Let's look at SPY. Okay, SPY, look how SPY is very close to the all-time high up here. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, and Diamond Dow's a little bit of ways away. Okay, but SPY and QQQ, yes. All right, here's Diamond Dow. Price action for today is a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17, that's bullish, up over the uptrend line, that's bullish, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, yes, that's bullish, up here in the upper third, that's bullish. Daily chart making higher lows and higher highs, that's an uptrend, that's also bullish. Price action moving up, holding the higher ground, consolidating on top of the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's also bullish. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow. IWM. IWM, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. Closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, closing over the uptrend line. Okay, closing over the trap and over the rising 17, that's bullish. Closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Closing over the uptrend line, that's bullish. Okay, putting in an inverse head and shoulders, that's bullish. Price action's looking good here. Okay, moving up, holding that higher ground, now breaking out. Making higher lows and higher highs, that's an uptrend. Okay, IWM is bullish. It's just in the neutral territory right here. If it was up here in the upper third, it looked good. It's just in neutral territory. It is exhibiting bullish behavior. Let's take a look at FNGB. Okay, FNGB is lower high and a lower low, closing over a bullish trap, over the rising 17, that's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Over the uptrend line, that's bullish. Up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Making higher lows and higher highs, that's an uptrend, also bullish. FNGB, that's bullish. Take a look at our technicals, T2122. You can see we spent the day, half the day in the overbought zone, the other half in the buy zone. Price action is made a lower high here, but a higher low here. Take a look at T2123. Okay, so we had another bullish gap up that didn't get filled by the bears. Okay, it's beginning to come. See the bullish gap up, not filled by the bears. Bullish gap up, not filled by the bears. Okay, that's a bullish environment. Bullish gap up, not filled by the bears. Okay, this is bullish, making new highs in this rally every single day. That's what it seems like. Price action, higher lows, higher highs, that's an uptrend, that's bullish. Up over the rising 17, that's bullish. Up over that prior all-time high, also bullish. Price action moving up, holding the higher ground, now breaking out, also bullish. Take a look at the 3-bar chart. Price action moving up, holding the higher ground and breaking out, that's bullish. Up over the falling 200 SMA, that's bullish. Up here between the two prior all-time highs, also bullish. There's a high, it's making higher highs. That's an uptrend, that's bullish. Daily chart, still in a downtrend technically, but let's face it, the candles are not moving down. They're moving up and over to the right and now breaking out. So need to transition over this 200 SMA and then take out that high to get ourselves an uptrend in T2123. FNGB. Okay, we watch FNGB. It's got 10 of the most heavily weighted securities in QQQ and SPY. Okay, so FNGB, you can see selling from the beginning of the day right into the rising 200. Back to VWAP, pulled back, made a higher low. With the higher low, they produced a higher high up here. So selling at the beginning of the day, and then the buyers stepped in near the end of the day on FNGB, okay? Still moving up, holding that higher ground, up over the 200 SMA, that's bullish. Up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, bullish. Up over the uptrend line, also bullish. Let's take a look at a few sectors. Let's start with XLE. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17, that's bullish. Closing up on top of this downtrend line, that's bullish. Closing underneath this downtrend line, that's bearish. Closing underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, also bearish. Closing over the trap is bullish. Over the 17 is bullish. No longer in the lower third. All right, so that's neutral. Finally, they're moving up. Finally, okay? Price action it's been a long time. Still in an uptrend, but finally moving up again. So there's XLE. All right, price action still neutral through here, not quite bullish yet, exhibiting some bullish behavior, but not enough to say it's bullish. So there's XLEs. Take a look at USO. All right, USO got a higher low and a higher high, closing over a trap. That's bullish over the 17, bullish underneath this 3-year high anchored VWAP. Okay, knocking on the door. That's bullish to be knocking on the door and hanging out up there. Okay, closed underneath it. That's kind of neutral. All right, price action. Again, under the downtrend line, kind of neutral. I like the idea that it's not bullish because we're not on top of it, but we are knocking on the door of this 3-year high anchored VWAP and this multi-month downtrend line. It actually looks like a 6-month downtrend line right there. I like the idea that we're knocking on that and the midpoint. Everything all at once. So there's USO. Okay, USO in an uptrend. Okay, but just neutral, no longer in the lower third. No longer, it's not in the upper third. So it's just neutral through here. And it's in an uptrend, and it's nice, and it's moving up. It's making higher lows and higher highs. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG continues to disappoint. We can see price action, got a lower high and a lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap, underneath the downtrend line, in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Price action is, let's see if I can lift this up a little bit so you can see it. Okay, you can see underneath this 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's bearish. Closing over this uptrend line, that's neutral. We're in the lower third again, all right? So that's bearish on UNG. Back in the lower third, underneath that 12-month high anchored VWAP, underneath the downtrend line, underneath the trap, underneath the 17, that's bearish. All right, still in a downtrend, that's bearish. Making a bear flag, moving down and moving to the right, that's bearish, UNG. Let's take a look at GLD. All right, GLD did a higher low, higher high, closing over the trap. That's closing under the trap. All right, that's bearish. All right, just kind of neutral. All right, closing over the 17, that's bullish over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Also bullish over this gold uptrend line, that's bullish. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Moving up, holding the higher ground, that's bullish. Making higher lows and higher highs, that's bullish. All right, so gold bullish up here in quadrant 4. Silver puts in an inside day, or is it a lower low? Inside day, lower high, higher low, closing over the bullish trap. That's bullish over the 17. Nice chart there. Over this 12-month high anchored VWAP right here. That's a new 12-month high they put in yesterday. Excuse me, that's a 12-year high they put in yesterday. And you can see we're inside that. I like the idea they moved up, consolidated. They're up here in quadrant 4 now. That's bullish. They got higher lows and higher highs. That's bullish. Silver's bullish, really bullish. All right, let's take a look at SMH. That's going to look good. SMH, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Higher lows, higher highs, that's bullish. Over the trap, over the 17, bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, also bullish. SMH, daily, up in quadrant 4, bullish. Everything bullish about SMH. XLK. XLK ever so close to making a new all-time high. Okay, price action is, it's an outside day. Higher high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap. That's bullish. Over the 17, that's bullish. Up there in quadrant 4, bullish. Over the uptrend line, that's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. XLK making higher lows and higher highs. That's bullish. Look at it move up, hold the higher ground, now a breakout. Nice work on XLK. Let's take a look at XLF. Okay, XLF doing the same thing. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Over the trap, over the 17, bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Moving up, holding this higher ground, that's bullish. All right, and then you've got higher lows and higher highs, also bullish up there. Let's take a look at IYT, last one. All right, transport starting to wake up. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap. That's bullish. Over the green 17 dots, all right? That's bullish. Over this all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Over the uptrend line, also bullish. Can they hold the higher ground? Okay, they moved up, they held the higher ground. Most of this hold was underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Now we're getting candles closing over it. That's a really good sign. Up here in the upper third, that would be bullish. But right now, they're not quite there. So they're just kind of neutral, exhibiting nice bullish behavior, though. IYT, everything's looking good for a really robust rally. I don't even know if we get the consolidation over prior consolidation in the SPY. Everything's acting so bullish. I'm not so sure that we're going to get it. I'm looking for it. You know, it'd be nice to see them cool off and consolidate over that prior consolidation. I'm not sure that they're going to do it because I'm starting to see some of these other sectors now wake up and breaking out. Look at silver breaking out to new 12-year highs. That's your precious metals sector. All right, you got XLK dangerously close to tapping out a new all-time high. There's your technology sector. Financials just consolidating up in quadrant 4. All right, ready for that next leg higher. Actually, I think the cake is done. It's ready to pop anytime soon. All right, on XLF. Okay, see how it's just lingering up here for about 2-3 weeks. It's ready to go. All right, and make new highs. All right, so XLF is looking good. A lot of sectors really wait. Look at SMH, finally up in quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. All right, so everything kind of waking up. I don't know if we get that consolidation. I was looking for that to happen. Like to see some of this stuff cool off. Not really give it up, but just kind of hold the higher ground. We'll see what happens. So there's SMH. All right, traders, that's it for me for today. Had some winners here in the room today. Okay, want to take a note. All right. Jim had some wins, made some daily goals. Who else? Brad had some daily goals. Alan made some daily goals. Fido, I think Fido made a daily goal. I got it up here somewhere. Oh, I passed it. Eric made 2 daily goals. Way to go, Eric. I know Mel made some daily goals. And that's it. All right? Right there. Pretty sure. Finished up. Jim finished up with 3 daily goals. Way to go, Jim. I know Mel got a couple daily goals or more. Way to go, Mel. Everybody, nice day today. Nice 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Those work out. Look for those to win. Jim's been on a rip. Yes, he has. Look for those to succeed more often than fail. All right? Everything's looking good. We're still bullish. Hey, look, we're bullish until we're not. And it's not time yet. All right? Everything's looking good. All right? I'll see you guys all tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll see you then. Thank you.